앞으로도 국가대표의 마음으로 세계 곳곳에서 대한민국을 많이 알리는 데 이바지하겠습니다.
Hello, Rainies. This is Ung Bin. I'm back with the second episode. In the first episode, we learned about the traditional sound of Korea that Bangtan Boys wanted you to hear. As I have previously announced, we will take a look at the Korean traditional elements in the visual arts of MMA idol stage that BTS wanted you to see. Firstly, I'll give you the explanations as much as I know about the stage. Then secondly, I'll give you the personal interpretations about the hidden meanings that we have found based on the explanation that I'll give you. Lastly, there's a message that I want to give you about this stage. When you hear this message, you'll be amazed, surprised, and even touched by it because you'll realize that you were actually related to the stage. I'm absolutely positive. We have a lot to cover, so let's get started with the explanations. The stage starts with a series of flashbacks about the history of BTS. It is followed by J-Hope's magnificent appearance. However, along with J-Hope, many dancers appear as well on the gigantic stage which has multiple levels. The Korean traditional dance using book starts at the same time when J-Hope starts to dance. However, it might have been difficult for you to be impressed by the dance or even to focus on it like this, unless you're Korean. Why? Because J-Hope's dance was shining too brightly. You could have seen nothing but J-Hope. Am I right? However, we can't just pass it because this dance is a part of such an amazing Korean traditions. I will explain the identity of that amazing dance first. Let's watch this video. This is one of the stages of National Gugak Center Dance Theater performance called 오고무. I think the stage with multiple levels might have been inspired by this stage. The difference is the number of books. In this video, there are 5 books per person. O means number 5 in 오고무. 고무 means dance using books. So 오고무 means a dance with 5 books. If you look at the dancers in the J-Hope's video, there are 3 books per person. Therefore, it is called 삼고무. As you can tell by now, 삼 means number 3. The names of the dances vary depending on the number of books per person. There can be many different number of books, but dances with 3 or 5 books are most common. Since J-Hope was the main character of the stage, 삼고무 might have been a little bit out of your focus. However, if you watch this video, you'll be amazed by this performance, which is both dance and playing the instruments at the same time. The Korean traditional book dance, which has been passed down for a long time, used to have religious meanings. So in the early 1950s, it has been recreated as a flamboyant dance as it is today by the Korean traditional dance master Lee Me-bang. Then Jimin appears on the stage with a fan which is passed from J-Hope. I'll talk about this again in the personal interpretation section. Anyway, this is the solo stage which has drawn worldwide attention as one of the hottest search topics on the Google Trends. I think it may have been the most visually stunning solo stages of them all. This stage requires more explanations than the 삼고무 of the former stage by J-Hope. 부채춤 is the Korean name for the fan dance. 부채 is a fan, 춤 is a dance. Now, 부채춤 in Korea normally refers to a choreography by female dancers these days. This performance that you're watching is 부채춤. It's probably better known than other dances because it's a part of the repertoire for international events. The similarities between this and the stage by Jimin are the use of 부채 and the fact that they're both kinds of mass games. Nevertheless, this 부채춤 has its own charms, right? However, ironically, this beautiful dance is not in the realm of Korean traditional dance. Similar to how BTS have created MMA idol stage inspired by Korean traditions, Korean modern dancer Choi Seung-hee also created this modern version of Korean dance inspired by Korean traditional dances. This dance was presented during the Mexico Olympics for the first time in the form of mask games with fancy buches and the clothes that are ornamented with feathers and painted flowers. But isn't it nonsensical to talk about something that is not Korean tradition after I told you that I would explain to you about Korean traditions? Well, that is why it requires more detailed explanation. Let's go deeper into this. The stage by Jimin is inspired by not one, but two Korean traditional elements. The other inspiration is a different Korean traditional dance called Haljangmu. We have to go back to the idol music video in order to talk about Haljangmu. Look at this movement of Jimin when he walks towards the other members. Don't you feel that his clothes and the way he acts seem so relaxed and elegant like a nobleman? This movement is related to Haljangmu, the Korean traditional buchechum, which is performed by a male. The definition of Haljangmu says that it's a dance by magnanimous and chivalrous member of nobility. So Haljang means a magnanimous and chivalrous nobleman. Mu means dance. So doesn't Jimin exactly match the definition of Haljang? Therefore, the stage by Jimin was a brilliant mixture of buchechum, which is a flamboyant group dance, and Haljangmu, which is a delicate and elegant dance. Then it is followed by Jungkook's Talchum stage. Tal means mask, so Talchum means mask dance. Just like Jimin received buche from J-Hope, the stage is switched again as Jimin passes a piece of white cloth called Hansam to Jungkook, who is in charge of the next stage. Remember this too. I'll talk about this again in the personal interpretation section. In the stage by Jungkook, I could see strong masculine lines and feel dynamic power. Also, it is so cool to see Jungkook proving again that he's a very talented dancer by dancing so proficiently with Hansam, which is very difficult to learn in such a short period of time. By the way, the stage by Jungkook was different from the stages of J-Hope and Jimin. It was not simply a dance, but it was actually a part of Talchum drama performance. This Talchum drama is like a parody or satirical drama of some sort. What would be similar to this? Oh, that's right. It was something like SNL. They're very much alike in a way that they both satirize the reality, status system, religions, and social issues. The difference is that the actors cover their faces when they perform Talchum dramas. Several Talchum dramas are preserved and inherited in a number of regions of Korea. The stage by Jungkook is inspired by Korean traditional drama performance called Bongsan Talchum. This Talchum drama is an anthology or an omnibus of 7 different themes. This second story called Palmok Jungchum is very similar to the stage by Jungkook. The tal from the performance looks very similar to the tal worn by Jungkook. Also, Palmok Jungchum is a story of 8 characters. The stage by Jungkook is also performed by 8 dancers. Obviously, the choreography is reinterpreted as a modern dance, but still they have many similarities. Again, we'll talk more about the story of the Talchum in the personal interpretation section. After Jungkook is done with his stage, he throws his tal as a cue. Then it is switched to the enormous tal in the center stage. Then it opens up and 2 lions come on the stage, followed by a group of Korean traditional artists. It was so heart-pounding to see a performance in such a massive scale. Do you remember Samulnori from the first episode? I talked about it as I was explaining the Korean traditional instruments. Do you also remember that I said Samulnori is a smaller version of Pungmulnori? I promise you that we'll talk about Pungmulnori in the second episode. What you're watching now is the Pungmulnori. It requires more people to play more various traditional instruments such as sogo, taepyeongso, nabal, and etc. Besides, unlike Samulnori, which only plays the instruments, Pungmulnori has a variety of theatrical characters who dance or do circus tricks. So we can say that it is a bigger and more dynamic performance. However, I want to surprise you by telling you that there's something even bigger than Pungmulnori. Wow! The 풍물놀이 is also a part of the larger Korean traditional performance that is 남사당놀이, which is one of the UNESCO intangible cultural heritages. 풍물놀이 is the opening stage of 남사당놀이. You know the world-famous Cirque du Soleil, right? 남사당놀이 is kind of like a Korean version of Cirque du Soleil, which is a combination of largely scaled circus and instrumental performances. They turn somersaults and walk on the tightrope and more. Are you surprised because something keeps on coming out like matryoshka dolls? Let's recap. 남사당놀이 is larger than 풍물놀이, which is larger than 사물놀이. Then the exciting idol stage that follows is just like what we always say, BTS did BTS. No explanation is needed, right? Now, I'll tell you something that you will never be able to hear anywhere else, so that you can brag about it like, I'm a BTS fan who knows the minds of BTS more than anybody. I'll tell you the meaning of all the Korean traditional elements, including the Korean sounds that BTS wanted you to hear, and the Korean visual arts that BTS wanted you to see. The embedded meaning beyond what you can see and hear one-dimensionally. That is what I'll give you right now. And it's actually a word, just one word that penetrates everything. Not only Big Hit and BTS, but also the entire Korean BTS fans and Koreans who might happen to watch this video are completely irrelevant with my personal interpretation, which I'm about to start now. While I was watching hundreds of videos that are related to this and staying up many nights researching and studying in order to explain MMA idol stage to you, I came across a magical moment that everything started to make sense. As a result of the magic, one word came into my mind. It has become possible to explain the hidden meanings of the stage, the song Idol, and even the music video of the song to you with one Korean word. The word that connects everything is 풍류. Everything that you've heard so far can be explained with this word. Oh, oops, I didn't tell you the meaning of the word. If I directly translate the meaning of the word 풍류, 풍 means wind, and 류 means to flow or water flows. However, unlike the meaning of the direct translation, this word can actually be interpreted as various meanings. It can be used as the meaning of religious activities such as a heaven worship ceremony. It also refers to an activity of enjoying the peace and calmness that nature gives you as a friend of nature that has 4 distinctive seasons. It also means having liberal thoughts and ideas, and it also implies a meaning of writing poems, singing, painting, dancing, and enjoying music. So this word has become the foundation for various Korean traditional arts. Most of Korean cultural heritage and traditional arts are enormously influenced by the word 풍류. If you take a look at ancient documents from Korea's neighboring country, numerous mentions about Korean people are found saying that Korean people enjoy dancing and singing. So basically, 풍류 is inseparable from Korea. This word 풍류 penetrates all the stages, the song, and the music video of BTS and connects them as one. Now I'll give you logical reasons why it is. J-Hope passes 부채 to Jimin, then Jimin passes 한삼 to Jungkook. Finally, Jungkook throws 달 to symbolize the transition of the stage. Even though all 3 members perform very distinctive stages, my interpretation is that they all sprouted out from one root. 풍류 was melted into each solo stage. Did you notice that J-Hope was barefoot? Why was he barefoot? Why was he dancing barefoot even though it would probably be uncomfortable to dance in front of tens of thousands of people watching him? In my opinion, he was trying to portray a person who understands the meaning of 풍류. The one who doesn't worry about what others think of him and is not tied down to his status or his possessions. Among various characteristics of 풍류, what I think J-Hope was trying to express was freedom. As J-Hope's dance, which implies freedom and dynamism of 삼고무, get mingled, the stage became abundant of 풍류. Jimin's stage was the same. Shall we look at the painting on the buches that dancers are holding? And look at this buche in this video. The paintings on the buche look alike, right? This is orchid, which is one of the symbols of nobility based on 풍류. Also, 한량 from 한량무, which is an inspiration for this stage, is a person who enjoys 풍류. In the modern society, where labors are considered sacred, the word 한량 is negatively used to describe a person who does not work. However, in traditional standards, 한량 is just like the lyrics of Idol that says, "You can stop me loving myself," a person who enjoys 풍류 and proclaims that no one can stop loving himself regardless of how others look at him or describe him. Therefore, even if you only consider the fact that this stage is inspired by 한량무, the 풍류 code is still embedded in it. In case of Jungkook, the story which inspired the stage is literally talking about 풍류. In the story of this 탈춤 drama, one of the characters says, the sound that he followed was the sound of the waterfalls in the mountains, and the 풍류정 refers to a place where you enjoy 풍류. But I'm pretty sure you must have seen this from the music video of Idol. In this scene, I think they're trying to express the story of this 탈춤 drama in their music video by showing themselves excitedly dancing in the 풍류정. Should we call them 풍류 young men or 풍류 guys instead of Bangtan boys now? Then, 풍물놀이 starts after Jungkook's solo stage. What this exciting stage is trying to express is too obvious now. These people are enjoying 풍류 as they wish blessings. After all the members come on the stage, paintings of nature and flower as well as patterns of 부채 start to appear on the screen in the back. They mostly symbolize 풍류. Even these little details are all connected to 풍류. Oh, remember this scene from the music video? There were an airplane and a globe. So it can be interpreted as they're trying to enjoy 풍류 with all the people around the world. 풍류 even appears in the lyrics of the song. You know the lines, 얼쑤 좋다, 지화자 좋다. These are called 추임새, which is kind of like rejoinders. It is possible to interpret the meanings of 추임새s as to praise. Actually, 얼쑤 좋다 and 지화자 좋다 don't really have literal meanings as they are. You can just use it as expressions for good job, keep it up, or it's really exciting. In the interview about Idol with Korean media, there was a question about why they use the 추임새s such as 얼쑤, 지화자, and 덩기더 쿵더러러러. And this was the answer from RM. 추임새 originates from 판소리. 판소리 is a form of storytelling which is expressed musically, and 판소리 is a genre of traditional art that we can't leave out when we talk about 풍류. Since RM learned 판소리 from when he was very young, isn't it natural that such 추임새 just come out of his mouth like that? So don't you think 풍류 guys started out as 풍류 babies? And if you watch the teaser for the music video Idol, they joggle their shoulders like that. They're trying to express what we Koreans do as we shout out the 추임새s. I'll tell you what 덩기더 쿵더러러러 is too. Listen to this. Sounds pretty similar, right? So, it is an imitation of the sound of the Korean traditional beat. Then, even the dance to this lyrics must have the same meanings, right? Yes, it is. It is inspired by the Korean traditional movement. Since BTS wrote these 풍류 stick lyrics to throw a huge party in this world, whenever you see Idol performance, let's shout out 얼쑤 좋다 and 지화자 좋다 together. That means we're cheering for them, saying, "Good job, BTS, keep the party going." Isn't 풍류 so charming? So don't you agree that this word connects the song, the music video, and the stage? Now let's conclude. Let's think about why BTS showed you 풍류 and made you so excited. A lot of Koreans are watching this video too. They're interested in how I explain these things to you, as well as how you would react to this video. Among them, there might be some people who feel that something is missing in this video. They may think that we've forgotten about it. As you would remember, it's this. The video played with the sound of 북, which declared the beginning of the idol performance. If you're not Korean, you might have thought that it symbolizes water and fire or blue fire and red fire. I've seen such reactions. However, to eyes of most Koreans, it looks exactly like this. This is what is painted on the national flag of Korea as well. It is called 태극, which means the root and the source of all things. So when 태극 spreads out everywhere like that, we can interpret the meaning as the culture and the message of Korea spreading out to the world. Broadly benefit all humankind. This is the founding principle of ancient Joseon, which was the first country ever founded in the long history of Korea. And this is the principle of education nowadays, which is written in the Constitution of the Republic of Korea. As you can tell, this principle is not proclaiming the superiority or prosperity of the nation. It is the message that we must serve others and spread out happiness to all the people in the world, across the borders and regardless of their races. BTS knew that it would be uneasy for you to open your heart to Korean traditions, regardless of how beautiful it is, if it was placed bluntly at the forefront. Therefore, BTS dissolved it into their stage and carefully kept a balance so that it may become a little bit easier for you to accept it. They're sending you happiness with their exciting music and performances. They're also delivering the message "Love Yourself" with their music as part of UNICEF campaign. Perhaps this message is inspired by this principle. If you love yourself first, then you become willing to love others too. If you're happy, your happiness can be passed on to someone else. Therefore, the message can be interpreted that they want their love and their happiness, which have started in themselves, to be spread out to others. Therefore, the principle broadly benefit all humankind and the message of BTS "Love Yourself" are fundamentally the same ideas. And this message is sent to you through Korean traditional Pungnu with its deep meaning like this. As a result of their efforts, you and BTS have fallen in love with each other. And BTS and you are making the differences in this world to benefit all humankind with positive impact. The Love Yourself campaign with UNICEF and countless donations and services by the BTS fans prove that it is true. Because of BTS and you, the world is becoming a happier and better place to live. I don't know if you've heard of that, but Korea had been invaded and colonized by its neighboring country since the early 1900s. At the time, there was a leader and a hero of this nation named Kim Gu. He had fought for the independence of the nation with everything he had. I would like to end this video by reading the excerpt from his essay titled "My Hope," which is related to you. I want my country to be the most beautiful country of the world. Since I was heartbroken from the invasion of other country, I do not want my country to invade others. My only endless desire is the power of highly developed culture. The power of culture makes ourselves happy, then it will eventually give happiness to others. He's a wonderful man who had spoken of his hopes with his mind that is bigger than the resentment towards the country that invaded his country. The world that he wanted to see the most is the world that you and BTS are making right now. The message of BTS that is telling us to love ourselves and others, and this reality that we are happy because of our highly developed culture, and that you are also happy because of BTS. It has already been 70 years since he passed away, but I wonder how happy he would have been if he were alive today and saw you and BTS who sincerely love each other. I tear up just by imagining it. Therefore, you are a very special person to me as much as to BTS. I'm deeply honored that I was able to make this video for you, explaining and interpreting the stage of BTS and telling you the story about why I'm grateful to you. Let's love ourselves as always. with my grateful heart.